What is the link between population and well-being? Well, that's the inquiry question I want you guys to find out, and I'm going to help you to find out how to do it. One is to do straight with population growth, the idea of a big Australia and how that might be useful to Australia and its economy. And there's lots of people out there that say overpopulation is a myth. So there's three main questions you can follow. Well, the first thing I'd like you to do is to go to the site, and here you'll see under the Activities tab, you'll see Population Inquiry Task. I want you to click on that. Once your internet starts working, you'll get to something that looks like this. It's got a series of slides or boxes that I'm going to ask you to follow. But first of all, let's look at the questions I want you to look at. Number one, this is the choice of questions you have. This is the specific question relating to it. What's the relationship between population growth and well-being, and how likely is it to change in the future? So there's trends in the population that are affecting a whole range of indicators. So with that, I'd like you to start on slide 16 on blend space. Now I'll show you on blend space. Here are all the tiles I'll talk to you about, and here is the question that I've just asked you, and there's a whole range of links, their images and their videos of things that you can look at in order to delve a little bit more deeply. So in one sense, I've done a bit of research for you already. The second question is to do with the concept of a big Australia, how that could have benefits to us if we had a population of 35 million. Well, Dick Smith looks at that proposition. Go to slide 25 on blend space. So if you go back here, scroll down, there you'll see the question, and there's a number of, again, links and so on to help you. Now turning to question 3, that's surmising that this overpopulation theory is a myth, and there's a number of people that have got good logical arguments to support that, and you can explore this proposition, and for that you need to go to slide 30 on blend space, which is here. There it is, 30, and there's a number of clips and a few web pages as well to help you. So once you've worked out which one of the three things interest you, let's go through the process. What do you need to do? Well, the first thing is obviously you need to go back to blend space, and there's slides 3 to 15 that give you the background to the whole issue of population and so forth, and I'm going to show you some of the websites and clips to help you understand why this is important. And you do this as your first part of your research and before you start looking at your specific question. So here's some things to look at. This first here, the population clock, when you click on that, you'll get a clock coming up. I've already got it up. That looks like this. You can see here that the population is increasing as we look at it. Another one is this urban population link that I think is quite useful. So when you press on 5, I've already got it up, you get this, and when you play the animation you can see that the incidence of urbanisation is increasing throughout the world by watching all these places grow. And that's quite a striking thing to look at. Another thing which I thought was useful to you is this world population graph, which is when you click on that you get this, and it gives you a whole lot of information, as you can see here, about the population and also the rate of population increase. Not only does this organisation look at population, it also looks at other aspects of population control, life expectancy, family planning, births and deaths and so forth. So you can click on those sort of things and you can see that they give you different information based on different indicators. In this case you've got infant mortality, fertility rate and births per 100 1,000 population, and so on. Another interesting site is slide 9. It looks at Australia's demographics. Here it is here, and I find this really interesting. Again, you can see the animation of it, and really what's happening here is, as you can see, the bulge in the middle getting bigger. That's baby boomers and so forth retiring, and there's a bit more of a bulge at the top and less of a bulge down the bottom. So there's population increasing. You can see here by 2053 we've got 35 million almost, but there's a lot of older people as well, which is part of our problem in Australia. As you can see, there's more interesting things to look at. One of these things is another video from Hans Rosling, the guy that started Gapminder, and he's got an interesting way of presenting information, but I'll leave you to explore that yourselves. There's other bits and pieces here. This Population Reference Bureau, it's got a whole lot of information there, and there's another really good page here, the geography notes, which is a good general background if you need any more general background to your topic to understand various concepts, and there's quite a few. Once you've got your information and the background, you're ready to go into the chosen topic, whether it be to do with the big Australia or whatever, and then you're ready to complete your research. So important to realise that everything that you research is largely based on maps, tables and diagrams and other information, animations and whatnot, and that of course all must be referenced. And once you've got it together, you need to analyse the information, put it together in a workable format that makes sense, that addresses the answer to your question. So specifically, what do I want you guys to do? Well, 500 to 1,000 word response. I want you to include maps, tables, graphs, data and diagrams, and I think it would be good to use some of those animations and other images to enhance your presentation. So therefore, I think it's well advised to use an electronic form of presenting your final response. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying that there's a lot of good stuff out there that can enhance what you're trying to say. Your assessment is your knowledge, what sort of things you've found and how you've organised that, what sort of questions you've posed and what you've observed, how importantly you've interpreted and analysed that information, and you need to draw conclusions, and that needs to be the last part of your presentation, your response. You need to say, okay, I agree with this or I don't agree with this, and these are the issues. Number 5 is a fairly difficult criteria. You're responding to other challenges within your topic. By challenges I mean, for example, in relation to overpopulation, you've got the issue of food security. That's just one issue. Global warming and is another issue that will make it harder for an outcome to occur. And lastly, criterion 6, using a range of communication forms, and again that's why I'm encouraging you to use a digital format. I'm hoping that's been a useful explanation of what you have to do. Obviously you can ask me further questions, but this video is an attempt to say things once, and if you hadn't understood, you pause and replay. So good luck, and obviously I'll tell you when it needs to be due and so forth.